Hey guys, Sith King here.
And I'm Sonic Sons.
Rambling your viewers.
Remember us?
Yeah, it has been 2020 happened a lot.
It happened. It took a whole year, I feel like.
Yeah, but we both got our shots. Please get your shots.
Yeah. I'm gonna post maybe the correct version of that latest Steven Universe thing from like a year ago. Maybe cut off and then like someone commented on that and like I got busy with 2020. That's my excuse.
Yeah, 2020. On the plus side, I graduate in like half a month.
Congratulations.
So, yep. And you started working at a Sudbury school, sort of.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'll do a whole other episode about that. It's not even a movie.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we just saw
Godzilla versus Kong.
Donkey Kong specifically.
Yeah, it was not a long battle. It was very much not a long battle.
Godzilla just steps on the whole stage, you know.
Yeah, it turns out that throwing barrels at Godzilla not an ideal strategy. Not an ideal strategy at all.
No, it's not.
Okay,
No,
well,
but overall this movie was fun.
It was very fun, very dumb, but very fun.
Yeah, you know, I liked it better than King of Monsters personally. I'll grant you, it probably gets some bonus from being the first time I've been in a theater in over a year.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
fair.
like, the big screen, I'm here again, this is fun.
Oh, we missed you. We missed you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so, you're going to have to bear with us on a few things. One, we're out of practice, and two, we literally do not remember the names of anyone in this fucking movie.
We got the Wikipedia page here.
We're pretty sure that the big guy with the scales is Godzilla, and the furry guy is Kong.
Possibly. We will double check. No. But this with all the humans, like there's some from that other movie.
Mechagodzilla was that girl who was the daughter of the obviously evil psychopath from the first movie, right?
That lady, yeah, what the heck was up with that? I don't know.
I like how that was the part you focused on and not the fact that I said Mechagodzilla was her daughter.
Sorry. That's just been stewing over that earlier movie for so long. All right, guys, my sympathetic plan is to kill everyone.
Okay, so yes, you can tell we have our priorities straight, ladies and gentlemen. But no, seriously, what was her name?
I think her name was
Emma from the last movie. Her plan was stupid, and it was basically let's murder everyone on the planet. Anyone who says she was a hero is, a liar. At one point in the film, they were showing like different, news articles, and one showed her face and said hero or villain. We both in unison spoke out loud to the theater, villain.
Yeah. But she's not in this movie, yeah.
Except for that one thing.
Not having any lines in this movie, whatever.
Yeah, fuck her. Fuck her character, and quite frankly, her daughter doesn't do much. Her actual daughter and not Mechagodzilla. Although, let's face it, she would probably be on board with Mechagodzilla too.
She probably would, yeah.
Okay, so we start out in
Skull Island.
Yeah, Skull Island, which, the nicest named place ever,
Yep.
Fair warning, I know what happened in the movie, but I did not actually see Kong Skull Island.
Neither did I. No.
But I know what happened during it. Apparently, Kong was there, and he fought against other reptiles called, skull crawlers on that island. And that was all that was important.
Yeah, it was in the 70s, I was told.
Yeah, something about Vietnam, and, Samuel L. Jackson was there, and surprisingly, Mace Windu Fury was not able to kill King Kong.
No.
Whatever. Anyways, so in between that movie and now, all the natives on the island were killed in a storm except for a deaf girl named Gia, apparently.
J-I-A. It's further down if you scroll down on this thing.
Again, we don't know anyone's names. This movie's point is not, we have human characters that are likable and you remember their names. This movie's point is, we're going to have a monkey fight a lizard.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the characters were like, okay. I wasn't like offended when they were on screen.
But anyways, turns out that Kong is inside of a dome.
Because
Now-
Monarch has so much money. And they want to keep Kong safe, because I presume he did nice things for the head in the previous movie.
Well,
Well, then why the hell would they want to keep him safe?
I don't know. Same reason they locked up all the other monsters in the last one before Emma the psychopath decided to release them.
Yes, well, you lock things up, and you don't treat him to a luxury existence like this. Kong has plenty of space to run around and all this stuff.
Okay, yeah, but...
And that dome is huge. It's not like they're just sitting there where the island just happens to be there. It's like...
Well, anyways, he's been in prison. They say it's because they don't want him fighting Godzilla for some reason.
Come to think of it...
Actually,
that's what I was saying. They must like Kong if Gia likes him anyway. And...
I mean, we see Godzilla fight Kong several times over the course of the movie, and the only real reason why there's human casualties is that the fight takes place where there are other humans. If they just evacuated all the Iwa, if there were any left after the storm, which we know Gia is the only survivor of the Iwa,
what the hell kind of storm was it that killed an entire people? But okay.
Okay, yeah. Especially one that had lived on the island with fucking skull crawlers and Kong.
Right.
But, okay,
Right.
you could just evacuate everyone and then say to Godzilla, hey, look over here, here's Kong, kick his ass. I don't care.
Right. Like, if you want to do this, I would have just loved to have a storm-themed Titan that, wrecked shit. And now they want revenge. Or the Gia could be like, Kong, please kill that thing for me. That'd be a totally different plot, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. But anyways, Kong is, somewhat pissed that he's not able to get full range of the island. So he starts throwing trees at the dome. Anyways, Godzilla, meanwhile, is decided to start attacking everything. Oh, wait, no, sorry. That would be exciting. So instead we're going to the stupid plot of there's this guy named Brian, I think.
Yeah, the conspiracy guy.
Yeah, congratulations. You managed to get one... No.
Oh, sorry.
He's
Bernie.
Bernie.
Brian's
his actor.
Wow,
Jesus.
how did we do that? Okay.
It wasn't even that I was calling him from his actor's name, because honestly, I was not. I honestly thought his name was Brian.
Well, Bernie's fairly close. Got a B, got an R, got a I.
Well, anyways, Bernie is... He's recording his podcast saying, today I'm going to break into my company's super duper ultra secret files, and apparently no one in the company monitors his, social media accounts.
I can only assume he's doing this under a pseudonym and everything. He does seem to be using his real voice. But, I could kind of see a company being like, whatever, we don't even know what this guy is, and we trust our security, which is a bad move in this case.
Yeah, Apex Cybernetics is, bad.
Bad
at everything.
security.
At security.
I mean, they built a good robot. It was a quite effective robot there. But
Okay, it was good up until it went insane and tried to conquer the world, but...
That is a flaw, I'll give you that.
Pretty big flaw!
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
Anyways, so
Bernie's got a podcast, mostly so that Madison can find out he exists.
Madison being the daughter of Emma and, I don't know, Mark from the second movie. Well, from the third...
King of Monsters movie.
Yeah, King of the Monsters. And for some reason, Emma is... Madison is super into this guy's podcast. And he's like, oh, he's telling the truth, even though he's, talking about fluoride in the water and...
To be fair, there is fluoride in water. It's just not a mind control drug.
Yeah, it's for your teeth, I think.
I think the idea was she suspected that Apex was up to no good, and this is a guy investigating Apex. It would have helped, as I said to you before we started recording, if, say, he had previously published some information that turned out to be true. And then she'd be like, okay, this isn't just a nutcase. He must actually be an insider with some details.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, there was that Simmons guy in the Transformers movies, the Michael Bay Transformers movies. And in, the second or third movie, they go to him because he's written about other Transformers that have been hidden on Earth and for, years and years and years. And so they go to him, and he's like, okay, good, I know where this stuff is. And because he's had experience with this stuff, they believe him.
Yeah.
Sort of.
I haven't seen the movies, so I presume that's how it works, yeah.
Yeah, sort of.
I saw first and third of those movies.
Yeah. Good, you skipped the really bad one.
Yeah.
Although that's kind of a low bar.
I know, Transformers, less than meets the eye.
Less than you'd expect. Stole that from the Nostalgia Critic. Thank you, Doug. Even if stuff, whatever. Anyways, so he's at Apex and he's like, "Yay! I'm looking at stuff." Then Godzilla attacks. Yay!
Yay!
And then Godzilla leaves, but not before Bernie sees a giant mechanical eyeball. Or an orb.
It's an
or
eyeball.
Ultron's heart. Look, it's a very generic piece of technology that looks vaguely like an eyeball. There's like a jillion of these things in fiction.
I guess. But yeah, he was originally stealing some cargo manifests, and then he takes advantage of the chaos and the evacuation to slip downstairs. I like that there's a bit where, first time he comes across two guards, they immediately look at him. He tries to turn around, and they're like, "Hey," and he's like, "Oh shit, he saw me." And then they're asking for a security card, and he's all, "The fact that you're even asking about a security card is offensive." And they just draw weapons on him. They're not as stupid as you'd think. But then he gets saved by the plot, which miraculously kills off those two guards immediately without killing or hurting Bernie in any way.
Yeah, despite the fact that this is Godzilla's atomic breath that scythes through the building.
Yeah, good aim, Godzilla. Very good.
It doesn't affect someone standing 2 feet away from it.
Yeah.
Which that's not how physics works.
There's a lot of physics that doesn't work in this movie.
But it's a giant monster movie, so some of that you can just suspend disbelief for.
Yeah. He's ranting about this on the podcast, and Madison's like, "I gotta go talk to him because maybe he'll know what Apex is up to, and then maybe I guess she can do something about it." It's rather vague. And then she goes with her friend Josh, who
doesn't really...
I mean, just had a few one-liners, but doesn't otherwise
you could have removed Josh entirely from the plot, and really wouldn't have had much of an impact.
You'd have fewer one-liners, that's about it.
Yeah. But apparently anyways, they find him, and the conspiracy guy calls him tap water because he drinks tap water with fluoride. Yes,
he does.
Jesus Christ. Anyways, meanwhile, back in the interesting plot, the most evil man in the entire script and his evil sidekick, aka, remember, we don't know who the fuck any of these people are.
Walter Simmons is the guy in charge.
Walter Simmons is the CEO of Apex, and he hires...
mind control guy. I don't
know. No. Not mind control.
Ren, his name is.
No. He hires...
Oh, wait. Other people? Oh, the pilot dude?
Yeah, the pilot dude
is Nathan Lind.
Who apparently theorized about Hollow Earth, and Walter Simmons, or whatever his name is, goes and has his second in command be Ren Serizawa, the son of the awesome Dr. Serizawa from the first 2 Godzilla films.
Significantly less staring, though, than his father. So you gotta pick that up. Yeah, your whole job in Godzilla films is to stare at things.
Yeah, plus, that character was amazing, and I loved him, and he was memorable. And this guy just kind of exists. You could have put in, any character, and...
You could have put in Walter himself, practically.
Yeah. Anyways...
Also, Walter's hiring this guy, just now at the sort of the last-minute thing. They've been building this robot this whole time, come to think of it.
Also,
they could have sent someone to the Hollow Earth at any time.
Yeah, plus they're hiring him specifically for his theories about Hollow Earth. Except that they have a pretty decent plan on how to deal with Hollow Earth before they even pick him up.
Yeah, they don't need his expertise at all. In fact, he was really... Honestly, I lost track of that guy because he takes a haircut between the next time we see him.
And shaves his beard.
And shaves his beard, that was it, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, so this guy's the pilot, which is what he does for the rest of the movie. He's not being a doctor, a researcher at all. So, really, they just hired a fighter pilot who happens to also be into Hollow Earth stuff. I don't know.
He has an office at a college.
Yeah.
But
he doesn't...
At the Denham Institute, which is a nice little mythology gag, considering that Robert Denham was the character who led the expedition to Skull Island in the original source material.
Was it Denham? Yeah, I remember Denham.
Yeah. Yeah. This guy also doesn't accomplish much in the plot.
I mean, he gets to use the world's biggest defibrillator, so that's actually important.
Yeah, but, yeah, anyways, we're moving on, because, anyways, they have this little deaf... so, meanwhile, another character whose name we can't remember is...
Are you talking about Gia again? Or
Gia and her handler...
Eileen,
who are bringing Kong to Antarctica, because they think that they can use Kong... that other guy, the pilot guy, thinks that they can use Kong to lead them to the Hollow Earth, which they don't need to do.
Yeah, this is an interesting case in, like, multiple levels of papering over a plot hole that kind of add up. At least they do a better job of distracting you than they might otherwise have been. Because it's, A, we need him to lead us to the Hollow Earth, kind of leading you to assume that we don't know where the entrance is. But it turns out we do. We know where the tunnel is exactly. But then B, Kong is getting too big for the island anyway, so it's kind of a nice thing to give him to, like, a bigger space where he can be free. I guess there aren't any other islands we could give him to. And C, once you're in the tunnel, you're like, maybe we need Kong to lead us to the source where the mysterious unnamed power source is. But, like, that seems fairly obvious, too. It's kind of where all the throne-y stuff is.
Yeah, it's the only structure in the Hollow Earth.
And everything.
Yeah.
And, like, you could have sent a Heave, which is what they call their anti-grav ships, down there at any time to just scout this stuff out and be like, hey, look, there it is.
Also, they have anti-gravity ships, and this isn't their primary project? You're not, like, building space stations to house the population of Earth so that they can live in an area without Titans?
I actually would think it'd be easier to kill the Titans than the entire population of Earth off-world. Jeez.
Okay, for the rich and famous.
Yeah, okay.
Or moon colonies where you build your own gravity generators so that you don't have bone degradation or muscle degradation.
That would be cool.
You've essentially invented a technology that has world-shaking implications, and it's just basically used as a plot device to get you to the Hollow Earth.
Yeah. Also, this didn't occur to me until afterwards, that they say the reason why Godzilla hasn't come for Kong between movies is because they've got Kong in this base, which I assume, like, whatever the hell it is that Godzilla can sense from 10,000 miles distance that leads him to know where Kong is, like the signal he puts off, whatever the frick it is, his scent that travels at greater than wind velocity, is shielded so that Godzilla doesn't notice him. So here's a thought. Whatever you're doing to shield Kong on the island, do that same thing on the boat. Right?
Right.
And then, like, you would never have
a tarp over him or something.
Well, just a shielded thingy thing. You already had him sedated. It's not like you needed a lot of space.
Yeah, so that was...
In the meantime, Gia has got this nifty connection with Kong that I thought was cute. I mean, Kong has always had that thing, at least in the Peter Jackson film, of like, hey, he's got big softy at heart, he's just kind of misunderstood. And so we got Gia to be our conduit for that, and she does sign language. And turns out Kong knows sign language, and his pitch meeting pointed out, how the heck did he learn sign language without anyone noticing when he's under constant 24-hour surveillance in the giant dome? I don't know. But they had a big, cool fight in the midst of all these battleships. Because Monarch has so much money, you guys. So much money.
I mean, it's not impossible. I mean, the Soviet Union at one point paid Coca-Cola in battleships.
That's crazy.
I know, it's a real thing. Or it was Pepsi.
What did Coke/Pepsi do with the battleships? Sell them for scrap?
I don't know, and that answer haunts me to this day.
Are they still out there today?
Like, look, Pepsi's going to rue the day that they thought they could beat Coke at the regatta.
It's like someone drinks the wrong brand and battleships just target you, and you like put down the can and pick up the other one.
Okay, I'm willing to believe that Monarch is at least partially funded by the United Nations on the basis that no one wants to get eaten by a Titan.
Anyway, so Godzilla shows up and they fight, and it's a big old badass fight scene. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, Kong actually
goes underwater at one point. ship it rights itself again. That must have amazing pumps inside that ship, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Kong actually does the boat jumping thing that Asuka did in Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Which would totally destroy the boat you were jumping from.
Yeah, that's true.
That's okay.
Though I should note something about Evangelion. There's 2 different versions of the send-off of the 4th, 5th, whatever angel she was fighting in that fight.
Oh, yeah.
The first is the anime, which apparently she had to work with Shinji also in the entry plug for some reason.
I'm trying to remember why that was. Yeah, they were. I remember she had to switch language. No, yeah. I just remember the line where the thing isn't syncing right. She's like, Shinji, stop thinking. If you're gonna think in German. He's like, strudel? She's like, computer, switch language to Japanese.
Okay. Well, in the manga adaptation of Neon Genesis Evangelion, that didn't happen. Asuka didn't meet... my
Shinji.
God. I've been on a My Hero Academia kick for so long that, I was going to say Izuku.
Right?
Well, she also didn't meet Izuku, but she did... she didn't meet Shinji until she was inside his house moving all his stuff into the spare room.
Okay.
She did the whole thing in the manga on her own on the boat. It was kind of cool. But,
that is cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, they fight, and Kong is like groggy from the fight, and they all decide to play dead. Which is like, okay, that's a fairly clever way to get sure you have multiple rounds in this fight movie.
Although I do have to wonder why Godzilla's reacting to the boats playing dead and not Kong.
I mean, he could just kind of assume they're all living creatures and frick everything.
I mean, does he think Kong's piloting the boat?
I don't think so. I think he wants to kill Kong, and while we're at it, why don't I kill all these other things? Because I'm Godzilla, and it's kind of my deal.
Yeah, but okay, so how does he not know that... that Kong is, knocked out at least. He's not dead. And
well, the way they phrased it was, this isn't going to end until one of them submits, not until one of them dies. Which fits with King of Monsters, when 6 monsters all gather around Godzilla, and they kind of bow, and they're like, okay, you're the king. And he's like, okay, fine, I won't kill you. I'm guessing he did kill them between movies, because they don't show up in this one. But the idea is, if Godzilla believes that Kong is no longer a threat, that he doesn't feel any particular need to finish the job. And maybe Kong will be my lieutenant now or something.
And Kong was piloting the boat in Godzilla's mind.
I didn't say that. Kong is just on a boat.
Okay, but why did they have to turn off the boat then?
Because Godzilla is going for killing other stuff too while he's at it. Okay,
but
it is kind of vague. I'll give you that. There's no
Okay.
particular reason you would think the boats were independent titans.
Yeah, plus Godzilla kind of went out of his way to avoid collateral damage in the previous 2 movies, which makes his characterization in this one kind of weird. He's just breaking shit.
Yeah, did he avoid collateral damage? I forgot that.
Okay, well, he didn't go out of his way to blow shit up.
No, but these shits were, shooting at him.
Okay, that's fair. But they also shot at him in Godzilla 2014, and he didn't kill them there.
Oh. Well, yeah, I'm going to say his psychology has not been well worked out by the writers.
Okay, well, the writers being a little lazy is...
So then they're like, alright, how the hell do we get Kong from wherever the frick in the ocean we are to Antarctica? And then they fly him there, which on the one hand is clever, because then you're over the ocean and Godzilla can't quite reach you. And on the other hand, I don't know, maybe Godzilla could just flame breath you and you die anyway.
Yeah, we kind of saw Godzilla's capable of flame breathing straight to the core of the planet.
Yeah, that was a major power upgrade.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering why he doesn't do that more often. Put enough power to, core through a planet.
I'd like to know how they pushed Kong off the edge of the boat so he could get onto the net that was held up by all the planes.
Yeah.
And how much fuel those planes have if they flew from middle of ocean to Antarctica.
Also, planes travel much faster than boats. Why didn't they just take the planes to begin with?
I mean, planes weighed down by a giant monkey might not travel faster than boats.
And why don't they place the boats in the middle of the ocean, drop Kong off there, and then refuel their planes, and then carry him the rest of the way?
Yeah, that might have helped. It's all kind of bizarre any which way. So then they get to Antarctica, and they have to persuade Kong there are possibly more people like you in the center of the earth.
Okay, they just need him to go into the Hollow Earth thing.
I know, but I'm saying there was a whole scene about persuading him that there are others like him, which it turns out there are not. But there were some previously, at least. So.
Yeah. Although, honestly, I don't see why Kong didn't just go into the thing, because he's in the middle of Antarctica. He's openly looking around. There's fucking nothing else other than this hole he can go into, and it's fucking cold. Why don't you just go in the hole, because there's nothing else?
Yeah, you think the dilemma might be he goes like 100 feet into the hole and then just camps out there. And they're like, no, go further, King Kong. We need you to do stuff.
Just bring in the pokey stick.
Right.
Poke. Go. 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 Go.
That'd be hilarious.
But apparently this makes him freak out the idea that, there might be family down in the hole. So he goes into the hole and goes right into the hollow earth, thus proving we didn't really need him, because there's only one tunnel and it goes straight to the hollow earth through a wormhole of some variety that just is a thing that exists and is never explained.
I'm glad at least that didn't get brought up, like I didn't introduce it during the climax, right? It wasn't like a complete Deus Ex or something. It was like, there's a really weird feature of our setting, but okay, it's like a third of the way through the movie, so deal with it.
Yeah, like, who made this? Why? I mean, okay, granted, watching Kong fall for like 5,000 miles would have been boring.
Yes.
Well, what's the diameter of the Earth?
8,000.
Okay.
So yeah, no, the radius is 4,000. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but like, even if you're going supersonic, that's still a 4-hour fall.
Yeah, they somehow jumped in like a second. They said so.
Okay,
it's amazing.
Well, admittedly,
wormhole. Yeah, the thing they actually describe it as a gravity inversion, but considering how fast they went, it must have also been a freaking wormhole. Mm-hmm. For all we know, they just teleported to a different planet.
Yeah.
Right? There's just a teleporter down there. It would actually make slightly more sense, except there's totally a visible ceiling in the Hollow Earth, so never mind.
It could be inside a cave on another planet. Or a different dimension with different physical laws.
Because you asked me when we first got there, like, where's the light coming from? And I was like, oh, that's the mysterious power source. I thought they'd go up to this sun type thing that's just like hovering there, right? And then they didn't actually find that. No, they just found a throne room. So apparently there's a bright sun down there for some reason.
Kong fights some monsters down there, but apparently he likes it, and everyone... they have the 3 magical, gravity-defying, gravity-controlling spaceships, which totally could have made all the money in the world, and just... I'm sorry, but the potential implications of gravity control technology are ones that science fiction has struggled with for generations, and just these people just casually have it and aren't, I don't know, announcing it to the world, holy shit, we control one of the fundamental forces of the universe.
Yeah, only 2 more to go.
Anyways, one of the spaceships dies, and by the way, these heave things, they look like they're made to be ride vehicles. I guarantee you there's going to be a Kong journey to the
center of the Earth. Yeah, well, you can see they're thinking ahead there.
But yeah, for some reason, a lot of the technology has Tron lines and like unnecessary lighting all over it, which, okay, it looks cool aesthetically, but it feels very out of place when put next to
it's not
modern technology.
Well, A, for the modern technology contrast, B, the naturalist contrast. We're looking at giant animals, and then also Tron lines everywhere. Like, it's not a cybernetic story to begin with, you know? I did appreciate all the Tron lines during the Hong Kong fight that we'll get to in a minute, though, because it let you know which the frick building was where, and wasn't made like a big old mishmash of buildings because it was at night and all this stuff that otherwise would have been hard to kind of gauge the scale of things.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Madison, remember her? And
Josh and Bernie.
Those people have secretly snuck into the Apex Labs. That
the ones that got wrecked earlier. That have not been cordoned off, apparently.
And Bernie goes, okay, Bernie is essential for getting in, except he's not, because the place he takes them is the same scene earlier in the film where there's still a gaping hole in the wall from where Godzilla lasered it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he told them at which section of the building to go to, but once he gets there, it's like, here's the thing that's not there anymore, because apparently they took the eyeball away sometime between these 2 scenes.
And meanwhile, just Madison stumbles on an elevator with annoying purple Tron lines that goes down 30 to section 30, level 33, Which, again, we're going back to Apex Cybernetics has the worst security I've ever seen in fiction, because I can't get into my apartment without scanning my key twice just to get up to my room. The first time... Oh, okay.
The front door
twice.
in the elevator.
Yeah, front door in the elevator. And then I have to use my key again to get into my apartment. Congratulations, my apartment building is more heavily defended than Apex is. And we're not making Mechagodzillas. I hope we're not making Mechagodzillas.
The whole building just transforms into a Mecha Transformer.
Also, for Bernie's a conspiracy theorist, and yet one of the most enduring conspiracy theories that in our modern age with cameras everywhere is that the government is monitoring you wherever you go. Well, good news, people in the Monsterverse. That one isn't a thing because there's no cameras anywhere. No one spots these intruders walking in, looking at valuable property.
Yeah, well, let alone cameras, just guards. You think there'd be a guard at the elevator to, like, check people on their way in. And it would have been really easy for the writers to be, because he had that previous encounter with guards I mentioned, and they died. Then he picks up a security card from one of their corpses, and then uses that to swipe into the elevator, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, welcome, David Smith, or something, and that's a reference to the sculptor, I just realized. Anyway, it's a graphic novel. Go read it. But, like, and then, okay, so then he gets in that way. It'd be, like, slightly more plausible. No, they walk in, and we're like, oh, the base is still manned, like, down at level 33. You see people at a security console, but no one's at the elevator.
It's not even subtle. They have big, loud announcements going on.
Yeah.
There's still got people here, which is another theme of this movie. Why are people still where monsters are?
I mean, he's not there anymore. Godzilla walked away.
Okay, yeah, but the upside of the building, the surface level of the building, is still on fire.
Yeah.
Look, I get it. You're trying to move the valuable project pieces. But I don't know, have some of your non-existent guards run up with fire extinguishers, bare minimum. Turn off the electricity so it stops frickin' sparking. Throw a tarp over the Godzilla hole.
So then they're like, someone's coming. Oh, let's get in this Tron line box.
Which for some reason has fluorescent lights all over the outside. Again, if this was Mass Effect, this should be good because everything looks like that. This is not Mass Effect, so it just looks weird and out of place. Like an amusement park ride or something.
Yeah.
And inside are Skullcrawler eggs. Skullcrawlers being a kaiju that are native to Skull Island, and Kong fought several times during the plot of Kong Skull Island.
Yeah. So then the whole thing takes off. And it's like, oh, this computer console tells us it's taking us to Hong Kong.
And they have an underground tunnel that goes there, which, admittedly, that was established back in King of the Monsters that, yes, Hollow Earth was a theoretical way to improve time between places.
To shorten transport time.
Exactly. Which was used to explain how Godzilla got around the planet so easily.
Yeah, though, again, makes no sense. I'm just kidding. Like, even if you are taking the direct route from anywhere to anywhere underneath the Earth, you are taking a long time.
Admittedly, they did fall asleep in there, so it implies it took a while.
That's true.
But also, it went from 0 to Mach 2 really, really quickly, and then I don't know, they didn't get pulped or something?
They apparently have inertial dampeners with all their anti-grav tech.
Okay, fine. That's another technology that would shake the world to the core.
And they also do not check their cargo before they ship it to Hong Kong. Anyone can just walk in the door and close it behind them and stow away very easily.
Which, in fact, why are you doing this? Why not just actually have a passenger service to get to Hong Kong in, like, several hours?
No,
it would be
Like
safer.
a commercial service?
Yeah. Okay, but admittedly, I keep looking at the position of the villains in this piece as people who try to make money and then, fail
Yeah,
at
there's
it.
no indication they're trying to make money in this movie, actually.
Which is weird because usually in this type of film, you'd see the bad guys do all this super tech evil crap when patenting their work would make them stupid, filthy rich. But they don't do that because that's not their goal.
No.
So it's weird that they're competent in this one very small... Actually, no. I still have no idea what the fuck they are trying to do.
So eventually this trio arrives in Hong Kong, where the cargo is not inspected upon delivery.
And there are no cameras.
And there are no cameras.
And no guards.
And they walk straight into this world's biggest no one even to take the cargo off the ship, actually. I guess they'll just get to that tomorrow or something. They get into this gigantic room, and he's like, I think this is like some sort of sacrificial pit or something. Because it's huge, and there's a bit of a dead thing here, okay? And then it turns out the Mechagodzilla is here, and he's gonna kill a Skullcrawler. And there are people monitoring this, but they don't notice the 3 unauthorized humans running around on the floor there. I guess Godzilla's just, the robot's just too big, you know, and distracts everybody.
Okay, admittedly, Mechagodzilla is very distracting.
Yeah, that's true.
And also, for some reason, Godzilla is run on AAA batteries.
A little bit. I mean, he runs out of power after like 5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, it is another Ava
reference.
I
was just thinking that, yep.
But apparently Mechagodzilla being turned on this one time somehow causes Godzilla to realize, hey, there's a thing. I'm going to turn around from where I am near, like, the bottom of South America and head straight to Hong Kong.
In a matter of hours? Minutes? I don't know.
Yeah. But apparently no one evacuated Hong Kong in that time because we see thousands of people probably get slaughtered by what happens next. Meanwhile, in Hollow Earth, there's a couple cool monster fights. And then Maya, who is a character we did not mention. Yeah, Maya Simmons, daughter of evil CEO, is like, hi, I'm betraying you. I'm stealing the power source, even though that's explicitly what we... Actually, yeah, we told you explicitly. That was like part of the sales pitch he gave to that pilot guy.
Yeah.
Was no one briefed on this?
Did the pilot guy also mention it to Eileen?
Yes, he did.
So then we're like, oh no, how dare you do that thing you said you were going to do? Also, I just want to give you credit for the first time Maya appeared on screen, you went, she's going to die, and then she did. So...
Yeah, she tried to flee from the Hollow Earth because Godzilla decided, in the middle of his attacking of Hong Kong, to just randomly decide to blast down straight to the core of the Earth with his atomic breath, and that works. So she tried to fly out the Godzilla hole. I will apologize. I apologize sincerely for saying Godzilla hole. And Kong grabs her and squishes her magic spaceship in his hand. But yeah, she was an obvious corporate shill who was super aggressive, super dismissive of everyone.
Kong leads them to the source and finds this big ol' ancient axe that like absorbs radiation. And I didn't realize at first, it was pointed out at pitch meeting, is made from like a dorsal fin of a earlier Godzilla. So I mean, that's cool and all. Mm-hmm. Sits on a giant throne. That's cool and all. And that's charging up the thing though is what causes Godzilla to again burrow down immediately to the very center of the Earth. Then Kong goes up through the hole. Because he can climb that fast, apparently. Which,
okay, is even stupider because we don't even see evidence of the wormhole in this one. We just see him climbing normally. That's 4,000 miles he climbed. No wonder he lost later in the battle. He just climbed 4,000 miles.
Yeah, it is hard getting your giant monsters into the right locations at the right time. You've got all these settings and stuff.
But that's where the main action happens, and the climax starts, where we see Godzilla fight King Kong in Hong Kong.
And it's pretty awesome.
You know, I said to him in the middle of the movie, it's kind of sad that I see a giant glowing blue phosphorescent monster approaching Hong Kong, and I'm getting deja vu.
Yep.
Yeah, because this happened, this was the finale, I mean, this was the main fight in Pacific Rim.
Also, Hong Kong / China has no military anymore, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could not be bothered to throw any slugs at Godzilla this time around.
Yeah, wait, how did China... It's in China!
Right?
They're like, they have the biggest military on the planet, and yes, I'm including the United States.
Biggest in terms of people, not in terms of money.
Okay, that's fair. But still, you'd think that they'd have, like, at least one helicopter.
Yeah, just the one. The whole fight just, like, hovering around and no one even bothers.
The Glorious People's Republic! Okay, look, I know America's not much better when it comes to military super patriotism, but come on, people.
Yeah. By the way, just an aside, my son and all the shit you've been through. I mean, you were going through shit anyway, and it got even worse recently, so.
And then 2020 happened.
And then 2020 happened, you know, all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of goes
without
saying,
that's,
but I said it
human
anyways.
rights violations, China sucks. Anyway. I was going to say earlier that, so Godzilla attacks the initial Apex site, apparently because he knew they were building Mechagodzilla. And then again, he approaches Hong Kong because Mechagodzilla has been turned on. And it's not clear at all why Godzilla would be able to sense or care about Mechagodzilla. Like, I can kind of get, like, okay, all the Titans have a thing of killing each other. Let's just assume they can sense each other's presence from thousands of miles away. Why you would have an evolutionary trait of, I can sense giant robots, is really quite outside the field.
Okay, well, admittedly, giant robots and giant monsters are natural enemies.
Yes.
See also every anime and monster movie ever.
Yeah. So Godzilla is genre savvy, really.
Okay. Actually, yeah, that explains way more about the plot, you know. He's aware of the plot's significant events. My God, Godzilla's a troper.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Godzilla.
Big damn heroes. Then when stupid monkey being beaten up by robot, Godzilla came and saved stupid monkey.
Yeah.
Enter.
Yeah, he fights King Kong a whole bunch, and like Kong wins round 2, and then Godzilla's like, stay down, and he walks away, and then Kong gets up again, and they fight again, and he really takes him down this time. So Godzilla's the actual winner. In case you are wondering who wins, it's Godzilla, even when Kong has a cool weapon.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool. He gets to absorb atomic breath and then like use it against him and shit. Yeah,
you get the idea that this is why, Kong's species is capable of fighting against Godzilla's.
Yeah, which makes, monkeys having some intelligence is like a thing in real life. So there you go.
Yeah.
If I say monkey, I mean ape. Sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, so it turns out that the company of evil that is based out of a literal giant castle on a mountain overlooking the city.
It looked like one of those things from Blade Runner. Or one, whatever. Anyway, if you've ever seen Blade Runner.
Yeah. Okay. So get this. The way that they're powering Mechagodzilla... Okay, actually, I don't really know, and that's another...
Well, that was the thing. Earlier, they're like, okay, whatever power that it normally has runs out too fast. We need a better power source. And the way they do that is they get a sample of the source at the center of the Earth, and then they email it back home. And, like, I could sort of vaguely see that, like, okay, they were trying for some weird chemical reaction or a nuclear reaction, and... they don't know how to do it just right, so they need to get, like, how does nature do it? Like, in theory, how analyzing the sun could help you do nuclear fission or fusion, whichever it is, at home. I think it's fusion. But it was just a little, unexplained exactly how that works. And that was a thing that was coming up in the climax. And then, okay, we can just email this over... real quick, and then instantly turn on Mechagodzilla. We don't need to, like, calibrate anything. It's good. And the one pilot guy's like, no, this could be a problem. And the guy in charge is like, screw you, do it anyway.
Yeah, actually, I was sympathizing with the pilot because, that's not how anything works, but okay.
So then they turn it on.
No. Yeah. You didn't...
Yeah.
They're piloting it... because in addition to, building machines that can control one of the fundamental forces of reality, they've also developed a way to make psychics a thing and have recovered Ghidorah's skull and are using to control Mechagodzilla when, I don't know, the last time someone tried to control Mechagodzilla, they had a pilot's room inside of the machine.
Or with regular Wi-Fi, right?
Okay, I will admit I get why they did not connect with regular Wi-Fi because I've had trouble connecting to Wi-Fi in my own damn house.
There's super Wi-Fi that I assume they have.
Okay,
the point is you need to plug a man's brain directly into the computer.
Which is a waste of this character because this is Ren Serizawa, the son of that awesome Serizawa character from the first 2 Godzilla films. So it's kind of disappointing to see him wasted like this because as soon as they turn it on full power for the first time, Ghidorah's skull fries the guy and then uploads some sort of amalgamation of his consciousness and King Ghidorah's into,
into Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, into
King Ghidorah's back from the dead, you guys.
And then he blasts it. At this point, the guards have finally noticed when it was the 3 idiots running around when they were right in front of them No, literally this time.
Yeah, like just there's like a glass wall.
And then the big bad evil CEO guy goes, I'm going to explain my entire plan. And the problem, he keeps saying that I want mankind to be the apex predator again. Which is kind of a weak motivation, because this makes it seem more like it's about vanity than anything else. It would have made him much more sympathetic and understandable if he was like, okay, look at the destruction that Godzilla's fights and all the... If he'd gone after Madison and saying, your mother showed the destructive power of the kaiju, nearly wiping out our species when she unleashed them on mankind. We need a defense against them, and Mechagodzilla is the way we're going to do it.
Right. And you know, another easy way to add more to that, he lost someone close to him in one of those previous fights. And this is partly revenge for, like, his wife or whoever.
It's Maya's mother.
Oh, he had a thing for Maya's mother? We're brainstorming that now?
What? No. Maya is his daughter.
Oh, no, Maya. I'm sorry. You're thinking Madison and Maya were the same person. Yeah. Maya's mother, yes. Yeah. Let's say she died earlier. And then that would give Maya more character. Right? She's avenging her mother, too.
Of course, at that point, she's already dead. Because...
Well, whatever. Earlier on, we could have established that she's all bitter over the death of her mom.
Yeah. Right? Like, she was in Washington, D.C. lobbying for something for the company, and... You know, and then she was wiped out by King Ghidorah or something, or Godzilla. It doesn't really matter, because this is just a way. This is a way that we can cope with the loss and, you know, defend mankind.
Right. This could actually be, if you want to make it deep, you kind of make it kind of a Moby Dick thing, in which the way I read Moby Dick at least is that Captain Ahab is kind of sympathetic because Moby Dick keeps killing people all the time and took off his leg personally, right? And crazy at the same time. You can understand why he wants to stop this thing from existing anymore.
Yeah.
And so you could make it a sort of Shakespearean tragic thing of our villain thinks he's doing the right thing, but he's kind of blinded by rage and grief and all that, and our heroes are the ones who realize we can live in harmony with the monsters, and they tried to do that a little, but not nearly as much as they could have.
Right. Instead, what you get is the most obviously evil company in the entire universe. Seriously, Skeletor had better guards. They didn't do shit against He-Man, but Skeletor had guards. You have a person who constructs a giant monster robot in the image of another giant monster inside of a secret base, with a castle on top of it. And the monster is controlled by fusing human brainwaves with a world-ending Armageddon event in the form of an alien.
Probably.
Also, all the lighting in Mechagodzilla is red. So I'm just wondering, do you think they'd ever seen that sketch where, you know, the Nazis are wondering, are we the baddies?
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're throwing up some pretty big red flags.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about the Chinese ones.
Right.
I like to think that the Chinese army was the leader of the Chinese army, the one who approves all the movements in China, was just a crap. I am in so much trouble.
You just heard there was a kaiju fight, and you assumed it was happening in Tokyo.
You know, that's not too bad an assumption, really. But, anyways, Mechagodzilla up just as the CEO guy is giving his big speech about how mankind will be the apex predators again, and then specifically kills him, but no one else in the rooms.
Yeah, what are the odds of that?
Blasting its way out of the mountain.
There were guards that led them into that room. Did they die while our heroes...
No, they were running. They started running away when they saw Mechagodzilla turning towards it.
Well, anyway, our heroes are now in this control room.
Well, no. Heroes, air quotes.
Our trio of odd people are in this control room with the computers still working, by the way, even though we just wrecked the front half of the room.
Yeah,
computer's fine.
So Mechagodzilla lasers his way out of the mountain and immediately it starts attacking Godzilla, who you say king and it's a Godzilla film, you just gotta get going. And it's another pretty cool fight, but it's better lit than the other fights. I did think that the fights were...
Did Dawn happen sometime in the middle there?
Yes.
Apparently? Okay.
I did think that we kind of missed some of those human perspective shots as much.
I was thinking that once in a while. You got to remind yourself how big these things are, because that's how impressive they are.
Yeah, which the other Godzilla films did amazingly, even if they spent a little too little time with the monsters fighting. But anyways, Meanwhile, our minor characters try to access the computer systems, and they're like, okay, what's the password? To which I said, it's Apex, you idiot. It's the one thing that every person in this company keeps frickin' saying all the frickin' time.
Yes, well, hopefully their computer security is slightly better than their physical security. They didn't just name the company as their picking password.
Let's be honest here. Would you have been surprised?
I been surprised. I was gearing up to be disappointed at that scene. Like, they were actually going to guess the password somehow. And then they did not. So I was like, oh, yeah.
They dumped this thing flask full of booze on the computer, and that disrupted the satellite enough that at a critical moment when... Oh, wait,
it
no.
basically distracted Mechagodzilla for like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Less than that, even.
But I was kind of glad that was as much as they did, because honestly their plot wasn't really going anywhere, and quite frankly I dislike when humans take center stage in, monster fights.
Yeah, I understand that.
Meanwhile, okay, I should tell you guys something about myself. I'm going to be getting an associate's degree for biomedical technological engineering, which means that I repair medical devices, pumps, and electrosurgical units, x-rays. One of them is defibrillators, and which is just kind of key here when they have the last magic spaceship with gravity, and it uses so much energy it could cause the entire Vegas show to run for a month. Vegas light strip to run for a month. But due to the Godzilla fight, Kong's heart is starting to slow down. It's really sad. So they decide to use the ship and detonate it to use as a defibrillator to make his heart speed up. Okay. Speaking of someone who I actually know what I'm talking about here because I've studied defibrillators. I know how they work. This is not how a defibrillator works!
So how do they work? Because I don't actually know.
Yeah, okay. They stop a heart when it's in fibrillation, which is when the heart is behaving erratically. This was just it's slowing down.
Yeah.
If it was stopped, sure, fine, but okay.
I don't even think it's stopped. You can restart a heart that's entirely stopped. You can restart a heart that's in fibrillation, right? That's the difference.
Okay, so...
Also, good luck calibrating the correct current and voltage on this thing when it's literally just a random spaceship and this guy piloting it has no idea how to
He basically set the self-destruct and ran for his life, hoping against hope that it would detonate at the correct time in Kong's heart rate, that it would work, because there's only specific times that it's allowed to work.
Yeah,
otherwise, you could make it worse.
Wow. Can you imagine if that's how the movie ended? They tried to defibrillate him and he just dies and they're like, well, shit.
Yeah, but apparently this works because Kong is basically like, a cell phone, just needs some electricity to charge it up.
Yeah.
By the way, do not charge your cell phone by throwing it into a source of electricity.
Don't charge your pet ape either.
Yeah. Anyways, and Kong wakes up and he talks to Gia, and Gia's like, Godzilla is not the enemy, which...
I beg to differ. He punched me.
To which I said to Sonic says, wait, how does sign language have a word for Godzilla? Then I leaned back over. Actually, never mind. It makes perfect sense that sign language has a word for Godzilla.
Right,
I take it back then.
This world, yeah.
Yeah,
became
that
very
makes
important.
sense. And so Kong picks up his magic axe and goes and fights against Mechagodzilla. And the two...
they team up against him.
And Kong is the one to actually kill Mechagodzilla.
That was cool.
Yeah. And then Kong and Godzilla kind of like give each other a look of, I don't know, not hating each other as much. And Godzilla just kind of fucks off after roaring at him and swims out to ocean and
and we see Kong in this Hollow Earth again.
He's in the Hollow Earth.
Yeah. And then movie's over. And there's nothing after the credits. Because we were wondering, like, what would they do to do things even bigger the next time around? Hinting at, like, you rated Ghidorah, Godzilla, Kong, and then Mechagodzilla, and then they just hinted, no, maybe this is the end of the series. And if so, hey, good on you for realizing when you're out of ideas.
Although, considering they've been building up to this Kong Skull Island, I don't know, the fight was good. The fights were good.
Mm-hmm.
a lot of... But who cares? It's just about the monkey and the lizard fighting. And then, we can't have them fight against each other. We need to show that they're both good guys by having them team up against an even bigger threat.
Yep, that's what you got. Because what are you going to do? Have one of them die? You really upset the fans of whichever one.
So yeah, that was Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun, but God, is it dumb.
Yeah, I'm comparing because I just rewatched Jurassic Park yesterday. It runs on, hey, what can we do with special effects and, crazy monsters are doing crazy things. And the plot's a little thin in some places, but less thin than this one. I can't just asking me questions about like freaking anti-gravity technologies. Point is, this was fun too.
Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I saw it, and I'm glad we saw it.
Yeah.
I'm glad we saw it in a theater.
Good old theaters.
Get your shots. Yeah. I do not want to spend the rest of my life frickin' indoors.
Yeah. Seems as fast as I did.
Yeah.
And in case you're wondering, I've debated with all the anti-vaxxers. Not all of them, but I've spent a lot of hours on this. And they actually increase my trust in vaccines. Because these are people who are working so hard to find reasons why you shouldn't get vaccinated. And they can't passionately believing that they found something they didn't. Nothing adds up. Anyway, that's a brief summary of that debate.
Yeah. But I think we covered...
that was it. Yeah, we're at just under an hour. So... thanks for still watching this YouTube channel. Hope we didn't surprise you too much.
Like, comments, any YouTube Rev Avenue.
I mean, it's not like...
Rev Avenue.
Rev Avenue, yeah.
Add revenue.
It's not like we've done a particularly professional job on our end, so...
Dude, it's two of us ranting at Godzilla.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Yep.
Well, I guess I'm Sith King.
I'm Sonic Sons.
Signing off.